Hey guys, it's Hink here. I'm really trying to get out some more YouTube content for you all. And part of it is I'm so incredibly busy at work. I know everybody says that, but it's really busy here. And so instead of trying to make the perfect video, I'm just trying to get out some more videos. So if you would do me a favor and like this video if you found it helpful, or if you just want to help me spread the good word, and also if you don't mind subscribing to this channel, it'll help me grow, and it shows me that basically what I'm doing is worthwhile. And so today's topic is going to be basically 5 underrated components that I think can help along your PE journey. And so these are not necessarily in any particular order, but I think number one most important thing is just consistency. And so one of the things that you need to do is just, even if you can only get in 5 minutes of manual stretches a day, that can go a very long way when you build up over a year. Now, is that going to give you any insane gains over time? No, I don't think so. But what it can do is get you to consistently elongate, and it can help with your gains over time. And that being said, even if your routine is not perfect, there's a manual technique where you can literally just do some extra pulling on your junk when you go to urinate. Just, pulling it, help it get into an elongated state. And once again, you're not going to get any crazy gains off this, but could you get some gains? Yes. And could it just be additive to what you're already doing? Yes. And so basically, if you happen to miss a day, don't or you have to miss your routine in the morning or in the evening, don't say all is lost. Oh, well, I just missed a day. There's always something you can do. So that being said, number 2 is hydration. I recently came across this, and I think it makes a big difference. Once again, for those who haven't read my post that I made on this, hydration is the key to erection quality, amongst many other different factors. And so if you are dehydrated, number 1, your blood is thicker. It's harder to get to those more distal arterioles, including the ones that are in your penis. And number 2, your actually blood volume is decreased, so you don't have physically as much blood to get down to your member as you otherwise would. And so erection quality can suffer, but also from a recovery component, you're going to be more prone to energy if you can't get that healthy blood going where it needs to go. And so hydration, I think it's pretty easy. My general rule is that I drink enough water, that I'm peeing regularly, and that when I do pee, it's clear. Usually for me, that's around 4 liters per day. Well, not including what I might drink at a meal. This is just, I have actually a 1 liter water bottle, and I make sure to drink it 4 times during my work day. And that includes during a workout. So, don't complicate things. If your pee is anything but very light yellow or clear, then you need to be drinking some more water. Number 3 thing is sleep. A lot of guys, especially young guys, don't give sleep enough importance. Number 1, during sleep, especially good deep sleep, you have the release of important hormones. That's where your testosterone can be built, and especially things like growth hormone and other different components of recovery, literally physical recovery and injury recovery, are released during this deep sleep. So the better you can sleep, the better your hormonal levels will be, the better your growth hormone will be, and the better your recovery will be. It'll help keep you injury free, keep you growing during your PE process. And this is one thing where I really don't get a lot of backup. A lot of my posts will get 200 upvotes, but then whenever I post about masturbation, it's always crickets, and that's fine. But I do think that you really need to chill on masturbation if you're going to be engaging in PE, especially if you're using your hand in particular, because when you are fapping using your hand, that is causing some additional trauma to those penile tissues, especially those who engage in like a dip death grip, where they grip with a really firm grip. It's almost akin to jelqing, depending on how aggressively you're masturbating. And I can't tell you how many people on my service, my clients, if you will, on my Patreon, come to me for advice with just chronic masturbation issues that have caused them to have erectile dysfunction. And so I strongly advise you all to, if you're going to masturbate, to use something like a sleeve or a fleshlight or something like that. And I also think that limiting masturbation helps with gains. I don't have anything to base this on other than my own anecdotal experience, but the less I masturbate, the more I stay in a state of arousal. And so the more constant blood flow there is to my penis instead of, I've noticed that for me at least, oftentimes I'll masturbate and then I will immediately go back to a more turtled state almost. Not turtled, especially after pumping, but I can clearly see that there is less continuous blood flow to my penis. And also when I'm in a higher state of arousal, even, walking through the hospital here, I will see, an attractive woman, and all of a sudden I'll notice that blood flow is going to my penis. So once again, that's going to be helpful for overall penile health. And the last thing is that just don't overdo it. A lot of guys are very quick to find out about PE, and they want to hang and clamp and jelk and use an extender and do all these things, where when you go overboard, either with the amount of things that you're doing or your sets or how much force you're using. For example, when you're clamping, you're going to make yourself prone to an injury. When you have an injury, depending on how severe it is, you have like 3 months of setbacks. And that's what's happened basically to me. This is all basically off my experiences, but I had an experience with lymphangiosclerosis, which is very common. If you don't know what it is, go to my Reddit page and look it up. But it basically just a hardening of the lymphatic channels. But I, of course, freaked out, ended up having to take 3 months off before it recovered. It started to come back a few more months later, and I had to take another break. And this is because I was doing prolonged sets using a hydro pump of about 10 minutes, when really I should be keeping that to, sometimes even as many as 20 minutes, to be honest. This was when I was dumber and just into things and overzealous, like I'm trying to warn you all about. But then my other injury to my pelvic floor came from clamping. It's no secret I'm not a fan of clamping. Full disclosure, I am evaluating soft clamping right now, and it seems to be going okay. But anyways, I was clamping with too much force and wasn't really paying attention to how much I was kegling, and ended up screwing up my pelvic floor. Had to take another 3 months off. And so even though I'm just over 2 years into my PE journey, I've only been doing PE for about 18 months now. Yeah, right at about 18 months, because of the amount of time that I've had to take off. So I just warn you, it's not like we always say, it's a marathon and not a sprint. Slow and steady. Don't try to do too much all at once. You're going to make yourself prone to an injury, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Anyways, hope this helps. Once again, if you would like and subscribe to the channel, I'm going to try to pump out some more content for you all. And thanks for the support. Hope you all are doing well. See ya.